I have to apologize. I posted a video the other day that I hadn't made one in a while, and the legs of my tripod were all over the place. Everything was a mess. We won't even talk about it. Let's see, October 28th. So, what I wanted to do was hurry up and get this very quick demonstration of what to do with a bunch of junk mail envelopes, especially when kids and people too are home and we're doing, counting day by day. You can make really nice journals out of these, or just really sloppy journals. They're great. You can just put one for every day and stick stickers on it and put things on it that little things that you find floating around the house. Just glue everything down. It's great. Which is what I did with this book. This was a glue everything down book. Is this wire in here? Okay. So here you see this is an envelope. And the flap of the envelope wraps around to the back once you get all of them put together. And each one is an envelope with another envelope flap inserted into it. Far better to glue everything down. You'd be surprised how pretty things look once you just start gluing down scraps. And, of course, it's always a nice little decision. Oh, I could line this little square up with that there. And it doesn't matter. It's what we do, and it's fun little things to do with our minds. So, I gave the cats their stuff. Had some tea. Found some things around. A little note of what day it is. Put in stuff that you find. Write down the name of what you saw on TV, what book you're reading. Anything. It's really nice. It doesn't have a lot to do, but when you flip back through it, it's really neat. Isn't this a pretty page? By the way, turn on your closed captions. Okay, here's a lighthouse napkin and a special paperclip. So anyway, this is how, it looks when you really, and more time can be spent on this. And I'll go back into it and make things later. That was September. This is October. Okay, again, these are all envelopes. Okay. Now, there are two kinds of envelopes. There are these envelopes here also, the security envelopes. So they have a nice little textural design on them. So you can use these too. That's fine. I just like them because I cut them open and then I can use the texture side too. And here is one that I actually cut open that's in there like that, so you can do that too. And then you have to glue this stuff down onto it, not just leave it there like that. These are unfinished, but it doesn't matter. Now this has a whole bunch of stuff stuck in it from the month. So they're good when you're traveling. You can just stick the stuff, stick receipts and things in day by day. Pickled baby beets. I love my beets and eggs. Elijah Cummings died. Paddle out for Mike Doyle. Just, you have things to remember. These aren't glued in yet. I kind of like gluing the string down with it. So, anyway, let's see. This one is bigger, so I would have to sew it in or glue it in somehow. And, also we try to, with this particular kind of an envelope journal, the envelope where the flaps go in, it's not sewn. You can kind of sneak in a couple ones that are not quite the same size, okay? But it's best to have them all exactly the same size for this particular kind, because you'll have a small one and then you can't fit the next one into it. Okay, that's really fast, but what I really want to do is get to putting these together. So when you have your little bunch of envelopes that you're going to use all together, you then take and you open the flap out like that. Okay? That flap then is going to be your working piece. This flap here, it's the first one and it's different. It's going to wrap around onto the back of all of them. Okay? It's going to wrap around from here on, and attach to the back of all of them, and that one will not be an envelope. Okay? But all of the others are actually inserted into the preceding envelope, like this. Okay, so let's say we've decided that this is going to be our first one. It's not, but we're going to say that. And this will be our second one. So we open them up so that the flaps are open. Now we turn that over and we take this flap and we stick it into there. And there it is. The next envelope to be stuck in. And you can also find envelopes that are in color too. So let's stick one in for fun. Oh, if they're the same size. If they're not the same size, we're in trouble here. It can be done. Oh, it does fit. Yay, look at that. Okay, and then here's another one. This one already has a little piece that I can put in it, and that's fine. Okay, so you can do that. Now, when you get all of the envelopes that you have assembled, you may not have enough, and that's okay. It's better to glue the whole bunch of them at once if you can, but you can continue inserting them in as you go. These here have been glued. In order to glue them, all you do is take this out, take your glue, put a little bead of glue on here and here alone. And then you carefully slip it into there. Some people use double-sided tape to do this. And you don't want to glue this together. If you do, don't worry about it. You're just going to lose part of an envelope, but you're not going to lose a page, so it doesn't matter. And these are nice for putting things behind, pictures. Okay, and then you go to the next one. You put the glue, take them apart to do it. Put the glue there. Turn it back over. This is the front of your page. Slide it in there. It's okay to touch, the top of this business as you slide it in, because it's going to hold it all down. Okay. And you just continue. Okay. And you continue gluing. Another thing you can do with them is, when you have the envelopes around, I was just out painting a sign for the window. I have a bad habit of picking things up and looking at them and talking about them while I'm looking at it and not showing you. Okay, so I use these just to wipe my brush off on. And there will be other pages to glue things onto also. I'm going to use this blue one in here just because it's an example. I kind of like the ones that have government addresses and stuff on them, because that's a way I can keep track of things, find information. So then, with all those, now these are the ones I put together the other day. I already glued them. Here's the first envelope. The second one is glued down into there. It's even torn there, but it doesn't matter. I covered up the address with some fruit labels. And here's the next one. So I've got a cover, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, more than a half a month, all there already. And as I said, if you have these other kind, you can mix them in, that's fine. They're the same size. Being the same size matters with these. And I'm going to stick that in there. There's how it looks. Those aren't glued yet, so you see how they look much looser than the others. And then when you get all of them in, you're going to take and put a little bit of glue kind of along the tops, just the tiniest bit, sort of to give it a little bit of strength. And then you're going to flap this over it and onto the glue that you put there. Well, this is backwards. Look at that. It's counterintuitive to be folding these back and then sticking them in this way. It's confusing getting your head around it, but once you get the hang of it, you're good. It's better to do a bunch at once for that reason. Okay. So, when these are glued, we have a little notebook, and here we can have April 1st. I guess I should quickly demo doing the glue. I did that on the other one, and I'll do it on this one. All right, I'm back with a quick demo of how to glue these. Oh, I can also glue unclogging the top. Demonstrate that. You need to unclog the top every time. And remember to I haven't gotten my hands this dirty in a couple of weeks, and it feels good. So we'll just pop this little guy out here, and a thin bead. This is called a thin bead. You don't have to use a whole lot. You can, on some of them, just use the envelope glue. Use a sponge, don't lick it. And then we'll stick this in here. Like I said, so you see I'm holding the front part, which is actually the back part of the envelope. I'm holding that away until I get that stuck in there. And you notice when I did put the glue on the envelope, I didn't go all the way to the edge. I stayed in here because I know it's going to squish up some. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly glued. You don't need to have glue running out the edge of it under there because nobody's going to see it. Okay. Now let's see. This is a different shaped one. What day is Easter? I should put that for the 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that one is going to be the envelope that comes up on April 12th, which is Easter Sunday. I'm going to double check, but I think that's what it is. Yes. Palm Sunday is the 5th. Do I have a green envelope? Could be fun to stick in. So that's glued. So don't go all the way to the edge with this glue. Leave yourself some wiggle room. literally. This is called wiggling right here. We're going to wiggle this into here. So that's a little bit of wiggle room. What's this piece? Where's that from? I'm going to wiggle it in there without touching until it's right lined up to there and there. Fold it back. This one's a little bigger than the others, but it doesn't matter. It's a junk journal. It's a junk envelope journal. Junk mail journal. I don't like it though. It bothers me. I'm going to save it. Oh, I can't. It's too late. Too late. Too late. Okay, this one's going in next. Uh-oh, did I lose count? Probably. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. No, I did it right. And another thing you can do, you know, for little kids, it's kind of hard for little kids, but oh, even teenagers, when you're learning, you can put a piece of waxed paper or like cereal wrapping paper, that kind of stuff, nothing sticks to, in there when you put that in to keep this from sticking if you've got a little wild with with the glue. Oh, this is a nice one. I wonder where this came from. Oh, it's just added in. Is it the same size? Yep. No problem. Okay, well this is okay. I'm glad I'm just doing this whole thing and babbling while I do it. I'm going to put all the ones I have, and this is going to be my April journal. $15. Oh, now this one I have a little choice to make. This is very thin up there, so I'm going to choose to put an envelope that's not going to have too much of a big flap in there. Well, I might have to trim it down even to make it work nicely. Now let's look at it and see. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. So this one might work better because the flap could be a little thinner, I think. And it's in a V shape. I like that, the way that looks, so I'm going to leave it like that. And obviously I'm not going to glue that part of it. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm gluing outside of the camera. Yeah, it's hard to remember. You know, when you get excited about something and you have an idea and you rush off, it's like, oh yeah, I don't have a cameraman here. I got to come back to the camera. Oh, this is helping my weird accent too. so I speak more clearly. I've been inside since March 6th. I voted on March 3rd, and I went to a small art and local history exhibit the night of the 5th and said, this is my last one out. I knew I was going to be going in. I really didn't think it was going to be this long because too many people have been running around before we get test kits and stuff. So it's going to be longer for me to come out, but that's okay. Maybe people will be glad to see us again. It's so hard for everybody. So I spent today putting a sign up that said, "Good job, Hermosa Beach students and parents. It ain't easy." And you won't hear me say ain't. That's something I reserve for special expressions. Well, it's beautiful looking out the window. People are still managing to sail, so that's good. Also, I have how many envelopes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 20 pages if I use both sides. But I need more envelopes. And I will need 15 or 16. If I don't use both sides of the first one, then I'll need 16. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. I sneezed into the recycling. Oh, Lord. All right. So, April. Here's something I learned from my students. I'd always seen doing it in class when we talk about months. Got to get my knuckles highlighted here. How do you know which months have 31 days and which ones don't? Your knuckles have 31 days. Ready? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. One more time. January 31, February 28, March 31, April 30, May 31, June 30, July and August 31, September 30, October 31, November 30, December 31. These are the kinds of things you learn when you live in other cultures. Unfortunately, I think I didn't learn to keep my knuckles in the film. I'm done. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Make a comment even. And I hope you had your closed captioning on because my voice and microphone together is a little bit fuzzy and I sometimes forget to speak as clearly as I know how to. All right, this is a long video. Oh my, this was supposed to be short. All right, thank you.